Hello, everyone. This is Sights for Eyes, and welcome back to another episode of An Introvert Speaks. Today's date is December 28th, 2020. Today's date of the recording, I should add. And this is a very special podcast episode because not only is this the end of the year podcast, but I have a special guest with me today. My best friend, Yuna, Guilty Wings, whichever she wants to go by. That's my special guest today. So say hello, Yuna.
Hi, everybody. It's Yuna.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. Oh my god! I'm so sorry. Can I even swear on your podcast?
Sure, go ahead.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. People end up loving when they're asked to tell us about yourself, and we're like, I don't really know much about myself at this point. But let's see. I mean, I'm just an artist right now. I'm just working freelance artist. I do things on my personal time. I just enjoying life right now.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure we all are trying to enjoy life right now. This has been a rough year for everyone, definitely.
Most
But
definitely.
yeah, but what kind of art do you do, by the way?
I do traditional art. I haven't done traditional art in a while though, but I started out with traditional art and I just gotten into digital art.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I've seen some of your artworks that you post online sometimes, and it is very cool. And I just admire it. And I wish I could draw. I am a horrible drawer. I, I can't even draw a perfect straight line.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people say, it's practice makes perfect. So to even become a good artist, you just have to keep practicing and hone your skill to be the absolutely perfect in your terms, of course.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like throughout the years of my university life, I developed a kind of a perfectionist mentality. Like it has to be as close as possible, as right as possible, with very few do-overs. And yeah, so that artistship has sailed for me.
I mean, the thing is, we're all kind of like that. We have our own concept of what perfection is for us. So in my terms, in my art, I want it a specific way, and right now, I since it's only my beginning in digital art, I haven't really found my style yet. So I like to dabble in different styles, and so I'm still learning all the concept and all the just everything in general. And it's definitely really hard because there's a certain way I want things to look, and when it doesn't come out, I just have to scrap it and start over, and that's rough.
Oh yeah, I definitely know something about that. So I told you about this project I'm working on that I haven't announced yet, and it was going well until I kind of had a inspiration to take the project on a different direction. Like I was working on something that I enjoy, but I would rather work on a project that I enjoy, but just more heartfelt. So this the project, which I will announce maybe at the end of the video, I had to scrap the story idea for the most part. Oh my gosh, I just kind of revealed it. But anyway, I had to scrap the story idea for the most part and just had to start from scrap for this project. So yeah, that's why it's taken a long time for me to actually reveal things. That and work and occasional burnouts and sleep.
No, I totally understand, but I didn't realize that you didn't tell me that you had to scrap the whole project and start over.
Yeah, I just kind of decided that last week because I read some inspirational quotes, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly because music is my inspiration and
Uh-huh.
how I view life and my I'll say my emotions are the biggest inspiration for like these kind of projects and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'll say last week, or rather half of December actually, I was feeling a certain type of way. Not really
Mm-hmm.
a good positive way, but it's like a emotion that's a painful emotion, but you can just like learn from it and just kind of deal like, okay, just throwing it out there. Still kind of under wraps, but like loneliness is what like just dealing with. But like not like the typical I'm lonely, I need somebody, but more
Mm-hmm.
like being understood. And there's
Yeah.
like different facets of like loneliness. So that's what I want to explore more in the project I'm working on. And like the original project I had, it feels like that it's impossible to do something like that based on like on how the story and characters were structured. So
Yeah.
that's on the back burner for right now. Like
Oh, the I mean, like I'm happy that like sometimes it's best to like take everything into consideration and just scrap a whole project and start over from the beginning with like a new head and new eyes to see how like what you initially wanted this project to be.
yes, definitely. So yeah, and like I was kind of like going towards it, like, hey, I want to be like the next, I don't know, the next Final Fantasy Persona, that kind of anime video game like thing. But
Mm,
while it still have like the anime aesthetic and stuff like that, I just really want the project to like a more human approach.
yeah, like a slice of life where people like, hey, I know that situation. I've been through that. I know how it feels. Like this gives me that like nostalgic feeling that I once had at one point in my life and stuff like that.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And it's I just feel like with media being like a driving factor now in daily life, something like this, like more how to say more explanation or things focused around emotion is much needed rather than like good versus evil. This is good feeling, bad feeling. There's a reason behind everything, or at
Hmm.
least most things, or yeah. Or unless you're just a jerk without just that much feelings, then yeah, I don't really
Yeah.
want to. Yeah,
You're just a D-bag that no one cares about and like it's so self-centered. No, I totally understand what you mean.
yeah. So like, there's a reason for people being a d bag,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
some people are just a d bag for the sake of being a d bag.
Yeah. Oh
uh,
jeez.
yeah. Okay. So, oh goodness. Um. So I'm in the pickle right now.
Yeah, so am
Oh, sorry. Apparently I can't. Okay. I was worried I can't minimize. So starting out with the podcast episode.
I. Hmm.
Again, this is like the end of the year 2020 podcast.
Yes.
And I just wanted to like just New Year, this time of year is like a good for like self reflection. How was this year and what
Yeah.
to look for going into the
Yeah.
new
And
year 2021.
just wrap it up and throw it in the trash. That's what this year was about.
Pretty much. But I'm sure we got some good things out of this year.
Yeah. This year, I'm not gonna lie, was definitely a rough year for like everyone. And like, I guess it brought out like an emotion that none of us expected to have or expected to feel at this point in life.
Who are you telling? 2019. I mean, granted, 2019, I have got some like good accomplishments, like
Mm-hmm.
off my bucket list, like traveling. Like I traveled to Shanghai and for the first
Yeah.
time traveled to Japan. So that was like the highlights of my year in
Yeah.
2019. But 2019, emotionally and life wise, really sucked for me. Like super sucked. And so like and that's the first thing I want to get into is like how did this start? How did this year start out for you?
Oh. So like for me, it started out honestly like pretty normal. Like have a pretty normal life. I don't really like do much or travel much. I would like to consider to travel more in the near future, but like this year started out actually really nice, and yeah, I got to go back home and like see my family and everything at the beginning of the year. Like before like everything kind of like shut down, I was able to go and like see my family, which I haven't seen in like a long time. So it was like a good start to the year. I would say at least my year was.
Yeah. My year, I won't say exactly where I was, but like I'll just say I barely avoided like calamity, being a part of this like worldwide calamity. 'Cause, like
Mhm.
it's like where I was, I didn't have access to my phone for like a few weeks.
Mhm.
And the first thing when I did got my phone, I checked my messages, and the first thing I read it like, what's going on in the world news? I saw World War III, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was gone for 1 or 2 weeks, and this is what happened.
Oh my god, that's so funny because I totally forgot that that was like a part of this year. That's just how awful this year was. It's like, wait, was that this year or was that last year?
Oh yeah, it was like January 3rd or 4th. It's like I turned on my phone like after not having it for like a week or two, and it's like, is this what's really happening right now?
Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. Like starting out this year, I was like emotionally in a bad place because of
Mhm.
how bad 2019 was for me and how 2019 ended for me. I was
Mhm.
like in an emotionally bad place. So, but knowing me, you know me. I'm despite negatives, I do have like this optimistic like perspective, realistic but optimistic. Just like, okay, it's a new world, like new year, and this is gonna be a new beginning. It's not gonna be that bad. Boy,
That
was
turned
I.
out, yeah, that phrase turned out way out of proportion for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, this year's gonna be great. It's not. It can't be any worse.
Oh yeah. And like I remember a little off topic. I remember I made this meme and posted on social media.
Mhm.
It's like this. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like this guy. He's like getting off from work and he's like walking to the front steps of his home,
Mhm.
and hiding behind her door was like the mom, his wife, the oldest child, and the youngest child, and they're like holding
Mhm.
knives. And so I posted this because like January was like World War III, and in February Kobe Bryant passed away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I said like hopefully this year will become better. And then I said like March, April, May, yeah, attached on this picture like as the captions. Little did I know that the pandemic was going to happen, and every month this year was just one disaster after another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like just again like retrospect. I was like, oh no, like I probably shouldn't have made this.
Yeah. This was not for the better. It was actually for the worse.
Yes, but yeah, I came back home at the beginning of this year, and you know, I'm always around out and about, hardly away. I'm hardly at home, and honestly, I've hardly been at home, like in my hometown, since like university. And so, just coming back home, I honestly thought it was just going to be like a few months thing because when I do come back home, it's really only for a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I was just like, okay, I'm going to prepare to go to this place, like in like March or April, and like move there. Then the pandemic happened, and it was like, oh no, you can't move. Like, okay. And so, yeah, so a lot of unpredictable stuff happened this year, and having a very crappy part-time job. I mean, it started out okay,
Mhm.
but over time, it was like just working me to death. Like really, like working 6 days a week, working like 40 hours, bare minimum wage. and it was just by the time of Thursday, I could barely walk and I could barely do my normal functions, and I'm a young person. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you got out of that situation.
Oh, definitely. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me get some drink right quick. A swig of this
Oh.
water. Okay, swig of this water. I'm actually drinking something I got today called Aloe Vita, and it's supposed to be healthy water.
It's healthy water. Is
Yeah.
that like a brand name?
No, the brand is called Aloe Vita,
Hmm.
and I actually got it like at the dollar store, and
Oh.
it's pomegranate flavor.
Ooh.
It
Do you
just
like it?
it has this taste that's like it tastes not so flattering.
Oh.
It's like it makes you want to stop drinking, but the aftertaste once you want to go back for it.
Oh, interesting. But uh, I've never had something like that before. Actually, maybe yeah. When I had like, I think it was like a pomegranate like green tea. It was like super fruity, and I was like, excuse me. I was like, huh. I don't think this is my like forte, but I still kept drinking it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just went to the dollar store just to pick up one item, and I was like, did I really come this way just for one item? So I
Yeah.
figured like, why not get some snacks? So and I got this. It's like aloe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
On top of like the snack question, what is like your go-to snack you like to grab?
Oh man. Um. Funny you asked that because I'm really trying to change up my diet lately.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. So my go-to snacks right now is like nuts and like trail mix and stuff like that, or just
Oh
like
yeah.
or cheeses. Something that's
Mm.
like not fattening, but just like enough to like just to get the curb your appetite.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my go-to snack used to be like flaming hot Cheetos, of course. But like, no, this year, like I believe it was like my mother-in-law. She bought like this like chickpea chips, and that is like that bag of chips is like so good, and I've been like buying a bunch of it and like eating it, and I'm just like, geez, I'm like eating this chip out of proportion now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I guess that would be my go-to. It's so good, Brandon. I might have to send you a bag.
Definitely. I think I've had it before or seen it around, but just never like really. I'll get it next time, but
Yeah,
yes, but sometimes next time never comes until in hindsight.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. So my go-to snack, it used to be like I'm a sucker for cake.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, just like not no regular cake. It has to be like how birthday cake tastes,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
It has to taste like that, or like marble cake, or like buttercream, things like that.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like
Oh.
when I was in like university, I would always skip brownies or chocolate cake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and just snack on it while just watching anime or just TV or something like that, and just yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I totally understand that. I used to have like a huge craving for like cake, but like ever since I started baking with like my mom, it kind of like changed my perspective of like how I like my cake. So like I always like every year I always like make cake for everyone's birthday. And like, so we don't like buy like store bought cake anymore. So it like totally changed my perspective on like eating cake. It's like I don't mind it, but the thing is like store bought like buttercream and stuff like that. It's just too sweet for me, and I have like I'd rather eat something less sweet.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the thing. Also, the older I get,
Hmm.
which I'm still young. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, I am not older than 29. Let's just say that. But the older I get, the less of a sweet tooth I have.
Hmm.
yeah, like I notice I catch myself now. Like I eat like ice cream
Mhm.
once a month,
Oh.
and like every other week, I'll just have like maybe one sweet dessert, like maybe a cookie or a slice of cake or something like that. But yeah, just the older I get, I found out like I'm less interested in sweets.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I recommend if like you're less interested in sweet, like to go eat like Asian desserts because they're sweet, but they're not like American sweet. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I definitely missed that. By the way, if you're listening, viewers, one secret C. I wouldn't say secret C, but I'm not too open about like talking about my life on social media. But I did used to live overseas in an Asian country, and in that Asian country, in particular, their sweets were kind of unique, as in it's not too sweet, but it's sweet enough to enjoy. Yeah. So
Ah.
yeah.
I mean, I on the other hand, I have like a sweet tooth, so like even if I have like something nice and savory, I still have to follow up with eating something like semi-sweet or like sweeter to like balance out like my flavors. Because if I have like that super savory flavor in my mouth, it leaves me like I don't know. It leaves me feeling like something's missing. So I always have to like have something sweet. Like I have something sweet once a day, and it's like it's awful because like sugar is so bad for me, and I need to like I'm doing my best to like cut sugar out, like a lot of sugar proportion out of my like diet. But like it's hard because I have such like a sweet tooth, and it's like I always have to have something sweet after I eat something like savory. So.
Oh yeah, definitely understand that. And I will say this before moving on. It is kind of a blessing in a way
Mhm.
that Reese's peanut butter cups are expensive.
Uh, Oh, you like Reese's peanut butter cups?
Oh yeah, I love it. Like absolutely love Reese's.
I don't. I used to. Okay, the max I can eat is like one. I can't like have Reese's peanut butter cups. I don't really like peanut butter cups as much.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. I used to. That's like so funny because like I used to like my favorite like candy bar, like chocolate bar, used to be like Butterfingers. Now I can't even have like a Butterfinger without being like this thing is like too sweet for me. So like yeah, so like now right now my like favorite like bar of candy of like chocolate candy is like probably a Twix.
Yeah, I like Twix.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't had one since last year,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh wow. Should totally send you some.
Oh yeah, I should get a Twix soon. This is kind of making me a little hungry. So, okay, so this how this year started out for us. Okay, it was normal for you, bad for
Very
me.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you consider to be the theme for you this year?
Um, hmm. I never like consider like a theme for this year for myself. I guess like now that like we're at the end of the year, my basically theme for like this year was like basically kind of like similar to your theme. What would your theme would be?
I would say to embrace myself and to be myself because
Yeah.
I'm always myself,
Hmm.
especially around friends.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like a larger group of people, especially people who I don't know, I just really close myself out.
Yeah.
And it just feels like I'm just like limiting myself that like it's kind of like being restricted like why can't I be my true self around other people and feel
Hmm.
okay about it? And so like at some point, I would say like in January, February, I'm just like screw it. I'm just gonna be myself. If people think me weird or anything like that,
Yeah.
they're not part of my life. They don't have anything contributing. They're not paying my bills, and they're not paying
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they're not paying my bills, they're not paying me. So I'm gonna live my life how I want to live it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's I guess that probably is a big theme for this year, considering how this year went for like a lot of people. It's like we're at a point in life where like we should really focus on ourselves because we are just as important as the people around us.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, and that comes into play like in many different ways. I would say
Mm-hmm.
like the major way this came into play was like at this part-time job I was
Mm-hmm.
working at. Whereas like of course I was myself,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time the things that I want to do, I never had time for. And so yeah, that just like really like prohibited me. And also in a way I couldn't really fully be myself at that job because like yeah, like I go in and get the job done, but the things I want to talk about, like anime, video games, culture stuff,
Yeah.
things that happen in the news, I can't really talk about that with like most of my coworkers. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there was like the occasional people there, like this coworkers I can talk to about video games, but nothing else. And
Yeah.
this coworker I can talk to about like culture and nothing else. And this one I can talk about like news and nothing else. So it just kind of like it's understanding people have like different
Yeah.
tastes and things like that, but I have
Yeah.
to like really watch what I had to say.
Yeah, for sure. Because they're just people you work with. You don't expect them to be like a part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, like they're
Yeah.
cool people, but we're not buddies. Not
Yeah, we're
really
not.
people. Yeah, not
Yeah.
really people I want to hang out with after work.
Yeah. Totally understand.
Yeah, and so like I would say, wait, no, that's coming in later. So yeah, so that's pretty much the biggest thing for me is just like embrace myself, be myself. Like I've always considered myself to be like the black sheep of the family,
Oh
especially
yeah.
at a young age. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm the middle child and
Mhm.
I'm an introvert, hence the name of the show. But like I've always been into like cultural stuff at a young age. Like,
Mhm.
like when age, I don't know, age 8, 10, 12, I was already listening to like Japanese music and stuff like that and just like blasting Japanese music through the house.
Yeah.
And yeah. And like my mom was like, "Do you know what you're saying?" "No, but I'm studying Japanese, so I can
Yeah.
know some words."
No, but this shit is like lit.
Yeah.
Who went and listened to this stuff?
I know, right? Like I was age 12, 13, I was listening to Cowboy Bebop songs and
Oh my
like
god.
Dragon Ball Z, the Japanese songs,
Yeah.
not the American. But the American Dragon Ball Z is good. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then like I remember like when I was young, I was a big even then, like I was a big gamer, even more than
Mhm.
now. So like my dad would ask me, "What's your favorite song? What kind of music you like?" And like 7-year-old me was like, "I like video game music."
Yeah.
Kind of a weird response to come from a child at that age, but
Uh, I mean, I don't think it's weird. I think it's like it's not normal because considering that like when we were younger, it was like so much different from obviously like how younger kids are these days, where they have like literally iPads and phones and everything's on the internet. We literally just had like video games and like some video games if we could afford, if like your family could afford video games. If not, then like we're literally outside playing for days.
oh yeah, so like I didn't really own my own video game until like actually yeah, I got my first video game handheld. It was like my Game
Mhm.
Boy Color. I was
Yeah.
like 8 years old. That's when like Pokemon was like beginning of the Pokemon craze.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But like before then, there were music CDs and cassette players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I didn't really know too much about those. Like I listened to my mom music. I didn't
Mhm.
really necessarily know the name of the artist, but like I
Yeah.
liked her music.
Yeah.
And then there was like my dad music. Like again, he listened to a lot of like old school music.
Yeah.
And I don't know who sings it, but they're good music.
Yeah.
But when it asks like, "What's your favorite artist?" or it's like, I don't know these people. They're good at music. I just know video games like Sonic
Yeah,
and Mario."
yeah. I like
Yeah.
this song from this game, and you play it, and it's like it's some like composition. They're like, oh, okay. What is this child?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes, definitely. So like, even then, like at that age, and like embracing yourself is a it's difficult to do that. Like
Mhm.
maybe in elementary you can get away with it, but once you get into like middle school and high school, oh no, they kind of shun that in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely it was really really hard for like introverts to be themselves because it's like at home we're not necessarily introverts, but then like at school we're like quiet. You're like the quiet kid. Oh, it's the quiet kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Like I was a quiet kid. Like
Yeah.
kept to myself, did my work. I was always reading books. Yeah, and like people was like, "Why don't you talk? You should stop being shy." Like, granted, I was shy, but it's just that I just like to keep to myself, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even then, like in early university, they kind of like say like, "Why are you being antisocial?" And I'm like, "I'm not being antisocial. I'm just like introverted." And so, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. You can't make an introvert into an extrovert. It's
Yeah.
just not going to happen.
I mean, see, I don't really like using it. Like, I think the phrase like antisocial is like really misused for like people who are like introverted. Or, like, oh, you're so antisocial. No, it's not that I'm antisocial. It's just that I don't have anything to say to you.
Yeah,
Without like being fucking rude as hell.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, it's like, no, I'm not antisocial. Antisocial is like obviously a different thing. It's just
Oh,
we don't talk to people, and like we're like picky about who we want to talk to and stuff like that.
oh yeah, definitely. Like okay, like for example, and even this is still applies to today. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go up to someone and just start talking to them randomly.
Mhm.
But I would say like how I have improved or changed in that is like I will start like small conversation, like doing okay today. Yeah, I'm doing okay, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. And like
Yeah.
if it goes somewhere, like okay, but to me to just like walk up to somebody and just start talking, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. That's super extroverted.
Yeah, it's just like it's not being antisocial. It's just that it's not me. So
Yeah.
usually people come up when people come up and talk to me, then gradually start talking more and more, and then
Yeah.
in some way that's how friendship starts.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's really weird in consideration because like, I'm I consider myself an introvert, but like once I'm like not in my introvert area, I become like what a lot of people assume I'm an extrovert, and I'm like, no, I'm not really an extrovert. I get tired of you guys, and I would like to go home and play my games. Please leave me alone.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah,
that's
so like sometimes like we have like different personalities that we put out for like people to see.
oh yeah, definitely. Introverts are very complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like don't just try to figure out an introvert, just kind of just deal with
Mhm.
it. Yeah, and especially one thing about introverts, I think I can say is that if we're feeling a certain type of way, we'll come out and say it. We just most of the time just don't keep it to ourselves if it's too much to bear. We will
Mhm.
come out and say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we one question I always get asked when I was like in university, "Are you okay? Is something wrong?" I'm like, "I'm okay." What are you thinking about? Like, not much of anything. Are you okay? What's wrong? Like, I'm really okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Stop asking me.
Yeah, and like sometimes I'll get invited to like parties and stuff like that. Like a
Mhm.
small group of like mutual friends. I'm like, depending who's there, I'll
Mhm.
go. If it's like
Yeah.
if it's like maybe 3 or 5 people who I don't know who are there, then I'm less likely to go.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so like yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I kind of like, I don't know, like when I run into new people, they're always like, "Oh, you're so extroverted and you have so much energy. You're so bubbly." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's just how I am, when I'm out and meeting people, but like I get tired, guys."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I would say this also like Christmas was like last week, right? And so
Oh
like
yeah.
oh yeah, and so like for like most of the day I was just like hosting like my siblings and their families and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But like at 9 a.m., like when everyone left, I went into my room and just I crashed.
Oh yeah.
Yes, like and I heard like my dad was like, "Wow, Brennan sleep very early. He doesn't usually go to sleep at 9." And I was like, "That was
I'm
like the last,
exhausted.
yeah, that was like the last thing I
I
heard."
used all the energy that I have built up through this year for you guys, and I'm done. that's,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Oh, and definitely like one thing like my career, my profession,
Mhm.
I kind of have to be like a little extroverted, and so
Mhm.
like with the people I interact with, I tell jokes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then like after class, it's like, okay, that was a little exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I like doing this like my career. I really enjoy it, and honestly, other than traveling and being a photographer, I can't imagine doing any other job.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, what would you say is the most important lesson you learned this year in 2020?
hmm. That's really something I need to like think on.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I have like an answer to that.
Wow, it's no problem. Like, I don't think most people really think about this in
Mhm.
retrospect.
Yeah.
I think maybe it will come like on actual New Year's Day.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like for me, the most important lesson I learned this year is that there are no bad days in life, only moments that build character. And so this is kind of like a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
It's a positive way to look at things,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it kind of like maybe builds up stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like right now, I'm not feeling that stress right
Mhm.
now based on like the current news, what's happening. Like
Mhm.
we're not getting cheated, I think, with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um I think all this came about with like in June. Like
Mhm.
I've had some my grandparents fell well, they didn't feel victim to COVID-19,
Mhm.
but it did impacted their like their health.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so like losing like my grandparent, which is like a big part of like my family,
Mhm.
like every Thanksgiving, Christmas, we would go over to their house, like the whole family, aunts, uncles, cousin, and we would gather and just spend the day over there. And then like just losing them. So it was like, and then on top of that, I had to deal with like work stuff, just being overworked,
Mhm.
and something I applied for, I was rejected for like the most BS reason ever.
Mhm.
And so like all of this like coming up, and then this has happened like around like late May and June was like the country was like in high turmoil, like a lot of protesting and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
stuff like, and it was like I just developed the way like there are no bad days in life, only moments that build character. Not to say like losing somebody like to death, yeah, that sucks, but it's part of life that everyone has to go through
Mhm.
inevitably.
Mhm.
Yeah, so no bad days in life just builds character. Like the way I look at it, you can become strong from what you experience, or you can just stay the same. In which, if you stay the same, you'll probably be left behind. In which nobody wants to feel that way.
Yeah.
So you just gotta take the bad and learn from it and grow from it.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people lost like loved ones that they weren't hoping would be in the situation that obviously we were in this year. And it's like, I lost my grandmother this year, and like I wasn't able to go see her, but luckily at the beginning of the year I was able to see her one last time. But like losing her in the middle of the year was kind of rough because of like it was literally the height of like everything, and it's just like, it's best if I don't travel during this time, and like I had to like make sacrifices and things like that. So like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It definitely, like, I lost my mom, like my grandparents,
Mhm.
around the same, like the middle of this year also, and so I had to make sacrifices. Like, this is like when this like essential worker crap was going on, like,
Mhm.
and it's like you can't really take the day off. Like, they give you the option, but there's
Mhm.
also the risk of like having your hours cut,
Yeah.
and which is like a big no no.
Yeah.
And because we need as much money that we can get to scrape by,
Yeah.
and so yeah, so I had to make the difficult decision, and the fact that like being around other people, and I didn't want to get sick or COVID or anything like
Yeah.
that, and
Put
so
yourself at risk and everything.
yeah, and so I had to like miss out like my grandparents' funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I wish I could be there, but like I just had to, like, it was impossible for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a rough year for everyone.
Yeah, but the positives, let's look on the bright side. So, what would you say are your accomplishments this year?
My accomplishments.
Mm.
Oh my god, do I have anything accomplished this year?
It can be anything.
I mean, uh, I mean, I guess a good accomplishment for myself is like I'm doing more digital drawing. I guess that's good.
Oh,
I found more time to like draw and everything, and I'm making more time for myself. That's an accomplishment. I'm focusing on myself.
oh yeah, big definitely a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I would say a term of accomplishment. This has been like the busiest year for me.
Mhm.
So I did start getting like into digital stuff this year
Mhm.
slowly. So in February, I'll launch my Instagram photography page
Oh yeah.
at Sights for Eyes, SIGHTS number 4 IEYES. Self insert plug. Yeah, and then I just started like doing that because like I really like doing photography, and like I have
Mhm.
like crap loads of like photography photos from like my travels and like being away and stuff like that. Like, and so I just decided like I really want to do something with it, not just like sit on it.
Yeah.
Just do something and just like, but at the same time, they're my babies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just like, no, I don't want my babies to be stolen. But then I
Mhm.
was like, what's the point of like really having it if I'm just keeping it to myself and
Yeah.
barely uploading it on like social media? And holy crap, this deja vu. It feels like that. Yeah, this whole thing just feels like deja vu.
Does it?
Yeah, like the exact words and the exact conversation and the exact person I'm talking to. You
Yeah.
total deja vu. But yeah, in any case, that's my accomplishment. Starting a YouTube channel is a one of my big accomplishments
Mhm.
because again, introverted, and like I I want to like just share like my hobbies and like, hey, like just like video games. It's kind of a way to relax.
Yeah.
And I'm still like wrestling with this also at the same time. Like some days I want to be like, hey, I want to be like a noticeable YouTuber, and like some days I'm like, I don't want to be noticed. Just
Leave me alone, you guys.
yeah, like leave me alone. So like that's why like some week you'll see me like upload like a lot of videos, and like you'll see like maybe one week and like no, like I don't want to upload. I don't want to do podcasts. Like I got stuff to say, but I kind of don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but jumping into like the limelight to be like people to notice. Hopefully they're starting to notice me. Maybe,
Hmm.
hopefully, but I guess it's a good way to like relieve energy because like being quarantined all the time, you kind of need someone to talk to, and there's like few people like in our niche that I can talk to, but like with anime, video games,
Hmm.
culture,
Yeah.
things like that. So I guess like this is like a, I guess when I do podcasts, it's just me talking into a void, and whoever hears, okay to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally understand. Like, yo, if you guys hear my voice, that's great. And, I appreciate everything you guys are putting effort into, like me and listening to me and everything. I totally understand that.
oh yeah, I'm thankful for like my listeners and followers and things like that, and like
Hmm.
always appreciate it. Uh, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I forgot. Um, Something about like speaking and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
I hate hearing my voice.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely hate hearing my voice. So
I think, yeah, I think that's like a barrel we all have to get through. Like, ew, do I really sound like that when I'm recorded?
yeah, and like we were just like doing like when I was doing like the test recordings and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really hate hearing my voice, and even in the editing, it was like I hate hearing my voice. Let me just put some music and just not listen to it.
Hmm.
And then sometimes like you're like, the music is a little too loud on this podcast. You need to turn it down. Like
Yeah.
then people won't hear my voice. Yeah. And I would say like the most the biggest accomplishment I have done this year is quitting the part-time job to focus on my career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge. I'm so glad you did that too. I know you like had came to me and you're like, yeah, I'm not sure what to do, and I'm like, in my opinion, drop that drop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and I think it's like either you said this also, and one of my friends saw it. This also is like
Hmm.
you're not doing anything with your major, and like you
Yeah.
went to school for this. You spent like a lot of money to get this degree, and you're
Hmm.
doing this job. It's like
Yeah.
it was a bit risk, and especially like in this current of economy and
Yeah.
things like that. It's not like exactly a job that's like how to say. I still have to stay at home,
Yeah.
and I miss really like being in the like the exact location of doing this job.
Hmm.
But hopefully next year I'll be able to do something like that
Yeah,
again.
for sure.
Yeah, just
We're we're all hopeful.
yeah, just there's only so much you can do like behind a computer screen. I kind of
Hmm.
miss like the interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like that's like the biggest accomplishments and other side accomplishments. I picked back up learning Japanese again
Yay.
for the upteeth time, but it's going somewhere this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I started learning Japanese at age 13, but it
Hmm.
was more like vocabulary wise. And
Oh
then
yeah.
high school, I started learning like basic grammar and how to write. And then early university, I started getting like more in depth. But then I moved and started learning Mandarin.
Yeah.
And then I studied overseas in a specific country. And whereas like I haven't forgotten Japanese because I always listen to Japanese and watch anime,
Hmm.
but it's just more like communication wise, it was difficult.
Yeah.
But lately, I've been like studying a lot. I need to study a lot more though, not slack off. But I've been studying a lot more, and I can see, and my teacher can also see, like my Japanese skills is improving, and especially when I watch anime. So I can like pick up like on words and stuff like that. Which suffice to say, I can sometimes notice like when subs are a little off from what they're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like last night I was watching like the latest episode of Attack on Titan,
Uh huh.
and Zeke said something in Japanese,
Mhm.
and of course it's in Japanese. Zeke said something, but it didn't like exactly match up what he actually said in that language.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's the gist of it, but the exact wording wasn't quite right. So that's a little bothersome to me. But yeah, I would say it's good that like my Japanese got to that level, like understanding a little bit more.
Mhm. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So, what did this year teach you to improve on, or what would you like to improve on in 2021?
What did this year teach you to improve on? I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with trying to improve yourself to be better every day, and like, of course, into the future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's something that I like to improve on, and maybe like my work ethic, because it's not like I'm the biggest procrastinator.
Yes.
So it's like I need to obviously like get my stuff together and like do it when I say I'm gonna do it. That's something I improved on a lot, but still having trouble doing, of course.
Definitely. Uh, yeah. I'm sure we all have that problem also, especially me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like with winter, like the bed is comfortable.
Yeah,
And like I always tell myself, like, okay, at 3:30 I'm gonna start doing this, and then 3:30 come, like,
yeah. I don't feel like doing it. Maybe like at 6 o'clock or something.
yeah, then 6 o'clock come, like, okay, I'll do it. And then like sometimes I put it off too much, and like I'll do it first thing in the morning, but then
Mhm.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like it'll be done, just not anytime. Like
Anytime soon, as long as I get it done, right?
I would say it'll be done within like shipping. It'll be done within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny. I never
yeah,
thought of it like that.
yes,
Yeah, I would like to improve on like obviously like when doing something, when I put my mind to into things, like when I really put my mind into stuff, I will like get it done like right then and there. But like for like smaller things, like hey, like I need to do the laundry, but I can always do it tomorrow.
yes.
Yeah, just like small things. I think it's more of like I have that habit with like chores more than anything else. Like if it's anything like work related, I'm like, hey, I need to get this done. I'm gonna get it done, and I have this time frame to do it, so I'm gonna do it,
Uh,
obviously, and it gets done. But like with chores, it's like, hey, you have to do this. Oh, I can always do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's just how it feels like.
Yeah. For me, when it comes to that, usually like when it's like something like fairly important, and this is something I definitely have to improve on also.
Mhm.
Food. So I make it a point to try to do like grocery shopping at least
Mhm.
every other week.
Yeah.
But there's like some times where I'm like just like I do not feel like grocery shopping. I don't feel like ordering for Instacart. I'm gonna
Yeah.
order takeout instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I just kind of thought to myself, like I'm putting the same amount of energy ordering food delivered to my house, the same amount of energy it takes to go to the store to get
Mhm.
that food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grocery shopping always been like a big hassle too. It's like, oh man, we have no food in the house. We have to go buy food. It's like, damn, I don't want to do that. And now, especially since it's like so cold. It's like I don't want to go outside. It's like negative 12 degrees outside. Who want to go outside around that time?
Negative 12 for you. It's like where I live. It's still kind of warm. Some days it's warm. Well,
Mhm.
some days it's cold, but today was awfully warm.
Oh, that's nice. Today
No,
was negative 12. It felt like negative 23 or 26.
I wish it was that cold. I wish I could
Oh,
see snow, but it rarely snows where I live.
yeah.
I would say like every 3 to 5 years it snows, and it ain't happening this year. It'll be a miracle if it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, like food. I gotta work on proof. Like again, I'm dieting.
Mhm.
I really gotta exercise more,
Mhm.
which I do exercise, but just like not as much as I like to though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gotta work on that. Things I like to improve in 2021. Things I want to, you know, I think about this, especially when before I go to sleep, because it's
Mhm.
what puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
But I kind of forgot like things. I don't know. I just like I'm the type of person that just like go with the flow, do as it like if it needs to be done, I'll do it. Just kind of I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say.
Kind of like not really necessarily set goals, but like if it comes up, I'll grow and adapt and improve when it happens. Things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I think that's all for like what I want to improve on. It's just like whatever it may be. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest thing I want to improve on in 2021 is like obviously like my drawings. Like I would like to improve and become a better artist in of course for myself and how I want to perceive myself rather than like having other people be like, hey, your drawing is great. Because like in terms of being an artist, people are always gonna tell you like, wow, you're such a great drawer and like
Yeah.
you're such a great artist. Yeah, I get that a lot. You're such a great drawer. I'm a great artist.
Yeah.
but yeah, they're always like that. But it's like, in terms of myself, I would like to see myself at a different position than obviously this year, because this year I initially like started going into digital art, and like obviously I've improved from coming from since the beginning of the year, but like I obviously in the coming years I would like to improve more on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I support you all the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, which by the way,
Mhm.
yeah, listeners, Yuna is the one who made like the banners and like the icon that Introvert speaks, the
Yeah.
pixel out of art. Yeah, which is like awesome. It's just like
Yeah.
I love it like a lot.
I did all that. I'm gonna improve on it. I'm gonna probably go back and like fix it to a way where I feel like it'll look better, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, in your opinion, it's like to me I think like it's perfect, but then like you
There's
know,
improvements. Improvements can be made.
yeah, and then like that's what artists do. Like they say like it can be made better. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, how? And then they come back and make it better. Like, oh my god, it is better.
Yeah. we just, we're good at doing what we do.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I want to improve on also, improve on more of like in my career field and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Definitely can like improve. I would say like there's one part
Mhm.
of my career that I wouldn't say I dislike doing, but I definitely need more skill. But it's just like it just comes naturally. It's definitely difficult to really talk about without giving out my career thing.
Mhm.
But it runs where I'll just say graham cracker if you can fill in like the blanks.
Wait, I can't fill in the blanks.
Okay. Um, I'll send it to you in Discord.
Oh yeah, that's totally fine. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that is like a difficult thing. So like during the course of the summer, I did like
Mhm.
some online classes to get like a more qualified certification in
Oh
this
yeah.
field. Yeah, and that was difficult. Like it wasn't difficult to do, but it's more like it took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
And like doing that full time and having like a part time job, which is basically a full time job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with doing this, when it came to like this this particular topic of my career,
Yeah.
when implementing it and showing like the teacher what I can do,
Mhm.
um, they said like you need more work on this, and like I struggle and struggle and struggle until like okay, you done better, but continue to do more of this in the future. And
Mhm.
so yeah, so and I'm doing this now because like every every other day during the weekday,
Mhm.
I have to do this particular thing.
Yeah.
And when I'm asked this question, I'm like, in my mind, it's like, okay, no problem. And then out loud, I'm like, okay, no problem. I can answer this. But like in my mind, it was like, crap, why did you have to ask this? Yeah. So,
Yeah,
what?
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Definitely. You and me both need to improve.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just like, I'm, I was raised in this environment, so I should know it.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
don't know it. Yes.
I mean, it's quite a struggle. I'll tell you that. It's definitely a struggle with like it because it's like it's ever so changing and it's just weird,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
overall weird. So I
Yeah.
totally understand why like you're struggling and like why you want to improve.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And what was your favorite media this year? So like video games, anime, TV shows, movie, music.
Oh my god. I don't know. I have a lot of like oh well I guess okay. Okay, so it's perfect. So like obviously I guess you could say my favorite media this year would definitely be like my ultimate games.
Your what games?
My ultimate games on like
Oh,
the little like app games, the little ultimate app games. I've been obsessed with them, Brandon. I have like no idea.
I see.
Yeah, this it's another topic for like obviously another day. But yeah, in terms of anime, let's see. One that I like really obviously anticipated this year was obviously like Attack on Titan season
Oh,
4
oh yes.
by Jujutsu no Kaisen. Oh my god, it's literally everything I wanted in an anime.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
let's see, I TV shows. I started like in terms of like American TV show. I started watching Criminal Minds again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys watch out. I know how to I know what those killers do, those serial killers. I totally can do that. I can imitate that. But yeah, I'm finally on like season 11. There's like one more season left. That's on Netflix, of course, that I have to watch it. Like, I was like on a super binge and then obviously like I slowed down in terms of like because of having to work and things like that, and then
Yeah.
I only can watch it every once in a while. In movies, I don't really remember any movies that I watched this
You and me both for the most part.
year.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like with movies, I'm not a big movie watcher,
Oh,
honestly.
you're not? I
I am
love
not,
movies.
like I'll sit down and watch like movies like occasionally, but like to watch
Yeah,
like have like a movie marathon, I
yeah.
don't think I could do such a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
but
I'm
you could
more.
do an anime marathon, right?
Oh, definitely, and
Yeah. What's
yeah,
the difference between doing a movie marathon?
yeah. But we were doing like anime. It's like
Oh yeah.
how many episodes in a day are we talking about? I think my max is like maybe at least 5 episodes a day I can handle of anime before I like just
You burn out?
not really burn out, but just
Uh
want to
huh.
do something else.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude, I could literally binge like 2, 3 seasons of anime if I could
I wish
in
I
one day.
I wish I can do that. I didn't like if you could see like my anime watch list, I'm pretty sure you can get through it in like a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everything but One Piece, you know. I
Yeah.
can't. I I hate saying it, but I'm one of those fans who's like, I've never seen One Piece. I know about it. I know a lot about One Piece, but I have never sat down and like watched the anime, you guys. And I feel so ashamed. Like I should not be this person. Like I should know about One Piece and I should watch One Piece, but I don't.
Okay, so this is probably gonna like raise like a lot of pitchforks with me
Mm,
towards me.
yeah.
So One Piece is a great anime, but is it the greatest anime? No.
Yeah, come at me, you guys.
I'm sorry. Like everyone holds it to like this high regards. It's like, oh, it's the best anime out there. I'm like,
Mhm.
it has its flaws,
Yeah.
especially like in the time skips. The
Yeah.
one thing I don't like about One Piece in particular is that how they kind of drag things out
Oh yeah.
longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, but that's like in terms of like old school, you know, like old school anime and like mangas and stuff like that. They drag an arc out for like the longest time, and that's just how it is, and that's why like newer anime fans can't really get into it because it's like it's like why is this one episode like 50 episode?
Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't understand like this is what we did back then.
Oh yeah, like Yu Yu Hakusho, I can tolerate like
Yeah.
the dark tournament was a bit long, but we all tolerated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with One Piece, I would say in the beginning how to draw out each arc, it was okay, no complaints.
Mhm.
But like in the time skip, especially like with Doflamingo, like when they
Mhm. Spoiler.
spoilers, yeah, spoilers,
Spoilers, guys.
yeah. So like in the time skip, when they all got back together as a crew,
Mhm.
that's when like the arcs start becoming drawn out. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
more than needed. Like first they went to Fishman Island,
Mhm.
which was too drawn out for my taste.
Yeah.
But then like they went to like this island, ice island called Punk Hazard, which was also drawn out. And then they went to like Doflamingo, it's like
Mhm.
his island, and then that whole arc is like unanimously like drawn out.
Mhm.
And so it's like there's some interesting stories and characters, but like, does it have to be like 50 plus 100 plus episodes just to get to somewhere? And it takes like every 15 or 20 episodes, something major development happens.
I mean, I guess you have that answer in like the manga.
Yeah, and people will say like the manga is better, but
Mhm.
that's one thing I had to do. I had to get back into like manga reading,
Yeah.
which I gradually start doing that this year, at
Oh
like
yeah.
October, November,
Uh-huh.
gradually. So like the One Piece manga, granted, this is like where I feel conflicted. People are saying
Mhm.
like the manga is better. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. And so I checked out the One Piece manga. Right now, they're doing this arc called Wano,
Mhm.
and I did like binge watch One Piece during the summer, from like the Punk Hazard all the way to like beginning of Wano.
Uh-huh.
And so like Wano is drawn out. It's being drawn out for right now, like in a manga. What more spoilers, by the way?
Yeah. More
So
spoilers, guys.
so they're fighting. They're about to fight the big bad pirates,
Yeah.
and it's like an all around free for all. It seems in the manga, and like the big bad pirate of the arc, his name is Kaido.
Mhm.
Luffy is trying to get to him, but they're just like running, and then all these other events are happening while they're just like running, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's just like, wow, this is going to happen for like, this is going to be like another 50 or 100 chapters, isn't it? Because I'm ready for Wano to end. People say Wano is hype. I'm like, it's good, but it's not like hype. Yeah, and so like, what I hate though, it's just like, okay, so Whole Cake Island
Mhm.
focus around Sanji and his backstory
Yeah.
because like I've never really noticed like, hey, they talked about like every One Piece character
Mhm.
of the crew except for Sanji.
Yeah.
He was just like we saw like okay, he was like with the chef named Zeke, I think that's his name. I forgot, I don't know, but just like way back like in the beginning, and
Mhm.
like he was out with the chef like in the middle of the like restaurant in the sea and stuff like that. And so we know that he escaped and he got like into like a bad sea accident and he was stranded at sea with the chef. And that's how he became like the Sanji, like the good cook that he is. But how all that started, we didn't know. But that's where like Whole Cake talks about. Like Sanji, he has a family. Sanji is part of royalty, and Whole Cake Island focuses like his backstory.
Mhm.
And so Whole Cake was interesting because like it showed like the main villain, which is like Big Mom
Mhm.
and her family and things like that. They're like the most interesting like villain group. They're not just like one-off villains with like one note. They're like very like well developed and like they have their own reasons why they're loyal to their mom and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like I would say Whole Cake is like the most interesting One Piece arc. And yeah, Sanji has romance, like an actual romance with someone. But I just kind of hate how like the writer just he kind of breaks that. Like as soon as Sanji sees Nami, he's like he just goes crazy. I'm like, dude, the girl that you were just dating and want to marry is like right there next to you, and you're gonna do this with what Nami around? Just what the crap?
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, One Piece I binged that, and it is definitely worth something getting into. Just I'll tell you if you really want to get into it. There's like this subgroup called One Piece
Oh yeah.
where they like breaks down like all the fillers and like unnecessary stuff and combine it into one episode. Granted, like it's about 30 to 50 minutes to watch per episode, but it gets the job done. It follows like the manga.
Oh.
Yeah. But Jujutsu Kaisen definitely was like a surprise hit for me this
Oh
year.
yeah.
Yeah, cause like every season I'll just watch like anime openings to see like which one will be like more interesting, appealing to me. When I saw
Mhm.
Jujutsu Kaisen opening, I'm like, holy shit, this is like awesome. It's like it kind of reminds me of like Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like at first I thought Gojo Satoru. I thought he was a villain because like how he's just like in the opening, just like
Yeah.
standing on top of like the Tokyo Tower with blindfold and like
Yeah.
smiling and stuff like
Their
that. You
their
just
like forte viewing intro and everything.
yeah, but it turns out like he's a nice guy. And like even like in the first episode, it shows him as like, hey, we're gonna execute you. Yeah, so he's a good guy. Yeah.
I'm
But
excited.
oh yeah.
I mean, for like being spoiled because some of the manga readers don't know how to shut their freaking mouth up. That like I've gotten spoiled to some things, but like it doesn't like necessarily bother me too much. It's like okay, I know like a small detail, but I would like to like see it with my own eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like that's the thing like with the current arc that just ended. I was kind of spoiled on that. So like
Oh yeah.
the impact of like what actually happened
Mhm.
was kind of diminished
Mhm.
because like Junpei,
Mhm.
that whole thing
Spoiler.
yeah, so like spoiler, major spoilers.
Yeah.
If you don't want to listen to this, just fast forward. Um okay, Junpei dies and when that happened, I kind of knew about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's like it just really lessen the impact of his death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't I didn't like know he was going to die.
yeah, and okay, there is going to be another death, but
Yeah, I
luckily,
know about that one. Maybe we're on the same page with that one.
is it another considering another
It's
good
a it's
character?
another good like big character.
Yes, and just like with this character, it's like,
Yeah.
well, why did they have to show this backstory? Because like I really like this character.
Yeah.
This character is like another me.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and so I'm not looking forward to that. But hey, maybe we'll get it like in 2 seasons for now.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, and Attack on Titan is definitely I definitely look forward to, and
Yeah.
that with spoilers and stuff like that. Um, I would say like I know what's going to happen
Uh-huh.
mostly because when I went to Japan last summer,
Oh yeah.
I went to Attack on Titan exhibit, and
Oh.
so like the next episode, episode 5,
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So everything that's going to happen in the next episode is basically what they show like at the exhibit. Yeah.
Oh.
So like at the exhibit, so you go into this room,
Mhm.
they give you like a brief history of like Attack on Titan world,
Yeah.
and then you have to choose a side: go to Marley
Mm.
or go to Parody, where Aaron's from.
Okay.
And so I chose Parody because I
Mhm.
didn't want to spoil myself. And so they have like different art exhibits depending
Oh
on
yeah.
which side. Yeah. So all the art exhibit I saw was like them attacking like Attack on Titan, like the war, like them attacking Titans, the whole war with the Beast Titan
Mhm.
taking back the wall. So I wasn't spoiled too much about that because that's like when season 3 that just ended is when I
Mm.
went to like the exhibit. And
Yeah.
so when I got to this first specific room though, that's when like the both walls comes back like together.
Mm.
And then you enter this room and there's like all these titans like above you.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going on. But it
Oh.
turns out that's like from that first episode when like Marley dropped the Titans on like the people that they're fighting with. So like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. And so once you leave that room, they're like also in that room. They're talking like different characters, like who's who.
Uh-huh.
Granted, it was half in Japanese, half in English. The
Uh-huh.
English didn't tell too much. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. It didn't spoil too much.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like after that part of the exhibit, you go into like this room
Mhm.
and then like this it goes dark and that's where episode 5 comes in. I'll tell you that. So I'm
Oh.
not going to spoil what happens. So like,
Okay.
so the reason why everyone's gathering in that place at the end of like episode 4,
Mhm.
you'll find out why in the next episode. That's
Oh.
when everything's going to come in. I'll just say the next episode, Attack on Titan, will definitely start the new year with a bang.
Yeah. For
Yes.
sure.
Oh yeah. I'm like I'm waiting for this. I just hate this. Like it's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah. Let's see. As far as anime, I've been behind on anime actually.
Mhm.
I don't watch it as much as I used to. Like I used to
Yeah.
watch like crap loads like every season. Now I just have to choose like at least 3 or 4 good shows.
Yeah.
Like this season was like Jujutsu Kaisen and I guess in a way Attack on Titan.
Mhm.
And I tried watching Fire Force. I'm just behind on it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I like the then get your pitchforks ready, people. I like the dub of Fire Force.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. Okay, so like yeah, on that topic, like which one is the superior? There's no fucking superior. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I
Shut up.
know. Yeah,
Shut up.
people just like to
No
like,
one
oh,
cares about your like trash ass opinion. Like
yeah,
if you have a preference, that's your preference. I'm not gonna shit on you for your preference.
yeah,
And people who shit on other people for preference is because they have small penises. It's whatever.
yeah, yeah. So like between like the sub or dub of Fire Force, I
Mhm.
actually prefer the dub because
Oh.
like it's more emotions behind it.
Oh yeah.
But what I hate though is that like
Mhm.
they release the dub every other week, so like
Oh
every
yeah.
2 weeks. So it's gonna be a while, and so
Before they finish like the season.
yeah. So and because I have to improve my Japanese a little bit more, I have
Yeah.
to watch it in sub. So
Uh,
it's gonna take some time to get used to.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally understand. I mean, I finished it when it finished because obviously I was like really on it. Like the season itself, like I liked the season. I enjoyed it. It was more of like a back story season that like explained like everything, and like I enjoyed it. But like some people were like, oh, there's no fight scene. Like the people who mainly watch like shonen just for the fight scene, they're like, oh, there's not really that much fight scene. Well, yeah, it's like basically next season will be better with all the like fighting and everything in terms of
Really?
fighting.
It's not that many fight scenes.
I
Like,
mean, okay, so like, what episode are you on?
okay, so like I last stopped like when I think the conclusion of like
Mm-hmm.
that pink hair girl, I forgot her name.
Mm.
I know she joins the White Clad, but
Yes.
like that battle's about to end, and she's
Yeah.
about to join like the White Clad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like that I know about, and I do know about like the
Mm-hmm.
fight with Joker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one, like I heard like some good things about that,
Yeah.
and what's the main character name? I always forgot his name. Forget his name.
Which one?
The main character,
Oh, Shira.
Shiro. Yes, I know Shiro, Arthur,
Shinra.
Shinra. Yes,
Yeah,
Shinra,
Shinra.
Shinra, and Arthur, and some
Mm-hmm.
other people are going like to an island
Mm-hmm.
to find something. I know something about some mole and some kind of Grim Reaper
Mm-hmm.
person
Mm-hmm.
that I'm looking forward to because it
Yeah,
really get
they do a fight scene over there.
yeah, because like that scene, like that whole mini art gives off
Mm-hmm.
like soul eater vibes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
big soul eater vibes. Okay, I knew I wasn't the only one who was. Thank goodness I wasn't the only one who was like feeling that.
yeah, and so like I do know like some of what's going on, but like all the
Oh, okay.
details and stuff, like I don't know. So like
Yeah.
that's definitely on like my to watch list. Like
Yeah.
at the end of this year, like hey, I got like 28, 29, 30, 30, 3 days to watch this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead and like finish it and like catch up.
Definitely.
Not gonna
So
spoil much for you because
y-
there. I mean, I don't think there isn't much to spoil. It's like it's more of like building characters for like obviously all the characters and stuff like that. And like the fight scenes are to a minimum. There's not every episode is like super feisty, and it's like I would prefer it that way because it builds up the character and you get to know the characters better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to finish watching My Hero Academia season 4.
Oh yeah, season 4.
Yeah, like after like the first half of season 4, I
Mhm.
stopped it
Mhm.
because it started getting fillery, even
Yeah,
though it's
it's
not
not.
filler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally understand. Yeah, I watched all of season 4. I was like, man, this feels like a big filler season.
yeah,
But I still watched it and I still like enjoyed it.
yeah, and that's another anime that like I have to watch in English, the
Oh
My
yeah,
Hero, because like it really like stand like
like
and
like in terms of like watching it, in my opinion, like watching it only in Japanese, like I heard the English voice actor. They're actually really good. There's not like god awful like back then. It's like it's
yeah.
really good. Like whoever like watches dub is like that's great. But like I prefer like I have a preference to like watch sub, and that's like my preference.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when people always say like, "Oh, dubs are horrible," and I was like, When? What? Like, are you talking about like the '90s dub?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. Like one of my favorite anime. What really got me into anime was like an anime called Slayers.
Oh yeah.
That dub is like horrible.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah, like the second protagonist, the
Mhm.
secondary,
Mhm.
he's the same voice actor as Brock from Pokemon, and just seeing that, and I was like, no, I don't hear it. And like
Yeah.
my favorite character, like his name is Zelos. In
Mhm.
Japanese, he talks like a sly, like yeah, and stuff like that, like
Mhm.
always upert. But in English, hey, you can't do. He sounds like an old man. Like, yeah, he's older than he looks, but you
Mhm.
don't let him sound like an old man with a scratchy voice. It's just like no, no,
I gotta give it to like the English voice actor. They're doing a lot better,
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Definitely. Like there are only very few animes that I can watch like English dub is because I grew up watching the English dub. As in like Yu Yu Hakusho, I only can watch that in English dub. Even though like going back and watching it, I'm like, holy shit, was this really what I was watching?
yeah.
Yeah,
And like,
that and like Full Metal Alchemist, and that's it.
oh yeah, and like you have to show English stuff. That is like perfect English
Mhm.
stuff. And people say
Mhm.
English stuff, so like, have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho? It's
Yeah.
it's even on record to be like a lot better than the Japanese subs.
Yeah.
Like the Japanese sub is just like cut and paste stuff like that, some
I think
humor. Yeah,
I think the one thing that bothered me about like Yu Yu Hakusho was like what's her name? What was the witch's name? I
Botan.
Yeah, Bolton. She had like a British accent, and
Yeah,
I was like, wait, did she always had this accent? Like when I was a kid, she always had this accent. It was just so weird. It was funny for me, like go back and be like, holy shit, was this really how it was? And I was like, it has to be like this. There's no way they just like around and changed the like voice acting.
yeah,
It just kind of threw me off.
yeah. And like I just like how Yusuke's personality is like in the English version, like how he's
Yeah.
just like so like
Yeah,
blatant about like
his personality fits him so well. Like the voice actor did such a good job on Yusuke. It was like perfect. It's like that's how I expect Yusuke Urameshi to be like.
yeah. And like I watch it like sometimes like I'll switch over to like Japanese to see like how it is, and
Hmm.
it's just like no, it's not doing it. So
Yeah.
like in the chapter Black arc when like he got mad at Koenma for
Hmm.
not telling him why he's doing this like the new mission.
Yeah.
When like in English he said like Earth to toddler bitch. Yeah, we're like in Japanese like hey Koenma, you didn't tell me about this, and then like
Yeah.
it's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They really made like the characters what they were meant to be. And like I super appreciate Yu Yu Hakusho, like the English stuff, and I was like, oh man, I love this.
yeah. And like Attack on Titan, I watched both sub and dub.
Hmm.
Yeah, both have like the same emotion, but
Oh yeah.
I think the English dub has a bit more emotion. Like
Yeah, they're a little more emotional.
yeah, like season two when like Reiner and Bertolt revealed himself, and like
Hmm.
when Reiner and Aaron were like having their arguments, that was
Hmm.
like so much emotion behind that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like so much shouting and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and let's see. Oh, I don't know if you remember this. Shaman King, you watched it in English, right?
Oh yeah, Shaman King. Yeah.
Yeah, Shaman King in English. At the time, I didn't really mind it too much, but like I
Hmm.
was talking to like one of my friends about it. It's like the English stuff it was a bit weird, and
Yeah.
like Rin, he had a British accent,
Yeah.
and Rio, he spoke with a Hispanic a Latin accent,
Yeah.
which was weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable because back then there wasn't really much like voice actors, and like if you can feel the role, you feel the role with like, oh yeah, that sounds like that character. So let's be it.
Yeah, and like now that we're back, like on a kind of like in the back, I'll say for One Piece, honestly, One Piece is better watching sub
Oh yeah.
because One Piece, the first English dub was horrible.
Oh yeah.
Now that I think about it, like they took out like their opening song was like a pirate rap song.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Luffy sounds like a teenage girl. Zoro, his name was Zolo.
Zolo.
Yeah, his voice,
Yeah.
his and Nami's were okay,
Oh my god, yeah.
but Usopp, he was like, he's like, it's like so shaky. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a captain of the sea. Oh. Yeah, but the worst of all was like Sanji. He
hmm
talks with like a Brooklyn accent.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hey, Luffy, what'd you do this for? Just like, no, stop.
It's really weird. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
see the reason why, like, if I ever find the time, I mean, it's not really, yeah, find the time to watch, like, One Piece, I have to watch it in Japanese because Zoro's voice actor is, like, one of my favorite voice actor, his Japanese VA.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The
Like,
absolute, like, I'm in love with his voice.
yeah, that and like the voice actor for like Gintoki. I love his
Yes.
voice. Yes.
Yeah. I love them so much.
Yes.
I'd literally go to the end of the world for those men, like forever.
Yes. He needs to be like they need to be like in more anime, like
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, like, damn, I was like, damn, I don't remember where I saw it, but like he was like the main character for another anime, the VA for like for Gintoki,
Mhm.
and I was listening, I was like, is that Gin? That's Gin.
Yeah.
That's good. And then I looked at all the comments. Everybody was like, all I hear is Gintoki. It's like, oh, he got reincarnated. He became this. I was like, oh my god, why am I so like? I can't stand the fandom's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, on top of that, Gintoki's last season, or as they say, final season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this summer, I think.
Actually, the final movie comes out next month.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It's like
Mm.
it's like I understand why they did that because like even though
Mhm.
I'm like still a bit behind, but
Yeah,
I'm yeah.
I'm
So
super behind.
yeah. So how like the anime season ended like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
the manga was still going on,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still a little bit close to finishing, but it was just like not enough to adapt it the chapters into the anime.
Yeah,
So
into
they had to do
animation.
like one of their fake cancellation episodes.
Oh
Like
yeah,
always, yeah.
I love them. I love them so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like now they have enough material. So they had to it's just enough to like
Mhm,
make it into a movie. Not enough for
mhm.
like another 13 episodes or something like that.
Yeah,
But I have a feeling like in the movies in the movie they can get away a lot they can get away with a lot more
yeah,
than in their jokes in the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I should probably go finish it. The whatever season episode I'm on to.
Yeah, I should also because like I was like towards the end of like when Kagura, I think that's
Mhm.
her name. Yeah, when they went back to like her home planet, and I think
Oh,
she was about to fight against her brother.
oh yeah, that's definitely super far. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not that far yet. I don't remember what the last episode I watched. Actually, the last episode that I could remember that I watched was the one where they were like they went to go stay at like the haunted inn.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to rewatch that again because apparently,
that's that's sort of like I have to say that was a great episode.
yeah, because I think like if that's the thing that you're talking about, like that's like way early, right?
Yeah, super early.
Yeah, because like that arc was like it's like a whole like parody of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my god, was it?
Yeah,
Shoot.
and like that was I watched it like way back then, and like I wasn't into JoJo back then, and it
Oh
was like
yeah.
now that I see some things like oh okay, so like this was definitely like JoJo. Like they even call it the Ghost Stands. I'm like
Oh
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Definitely have to go back and rewatch it. It's worth rewatching too.
yeah,
But like the thing is, like I was telling like my significant other is like you can't really watch Gintama if you don't like understand like Japanese culture and a lot of like Japanese stuff because they reference a lot of different like things in like in Japan, and like if you don't understand that, you won't really like enjoy Gintama. It's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And like even to do like they do put like notes to like help you
yeah,
understand the joke. Yeah.
yeah.
But
But like
yeah.
even still, it's like, what does that even mean? It's like, oh, well, of course you won't get it. You're not cultured.
You
No,
uncultured
it
swine.
yeah, it takes a lot like to understand. Like you really have to be in the like understand a lot to even watch like Gintama.
Yeah.
And like know a lot of different stuff in general.
Yeah, definitely. So like what I found like weird, maybe I don't not too weird anymore, but like Gintama is popular, but Bobobo is very hated.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's like they use like pretty much the same humor,
Yeah.
except Bobobo is just more like it can make your it's funny, but watching too much of it can make your head hurt.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. I don't I used
I
to watch
remember I remember watching some Bobo.
yeah. I used to watch it a lot in high school. Like,
Oh yeah.
granted, not every episode, but like
Yeah.
whenever I could see it, it was still funny. And like my
Yeah.
brother was like, "What is this? What is this?" It was like, "It's bubble bubble bubble." It was like, "I don't understand this."
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's like is in consideration to like how I don't understand like some American like cartoon. What was it? Big Mouth. I think. Yeah,
Oh,
I understand it, but like I really don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
So
Like,
it's like everything's all it's all a preference thing, and like it's like it's funny to some people. Yeah, I get the joke, but like I don't see that fucking appealing at all. Sorry.
yeah, like I'm not touching that. Like Big Mouth, like I'm not touching that.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is, like I can watch like The Simpsons and like Family Guy and like South Park, all that stuff with like, yeah, I find that shit humorous, but like Big Mouth is just like I don't know where to put Big Mouth on the scale. It's like, yeah, I get your humor and what you're trying to say, but like none of that is like funny to me.
Yeah.
I guess you really have to be like a child to be like, haha, he said penis. They're talking about like, gindos and stuff like that. That's funny. That's not funny to me anymore.
Yeah, it's not funny. I kind of miss like early 2000 like American comedy,
hmm
animated comedies. Like
hmm
there's like I don't know if you know it, heard of these shows. There's like home movies.
Mm, what is that? I don't know what that
So it's like home movies about like these. I think they're in third or fourth graders.
is.
They like they're a group of friends and they make like home movies together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like so it's like kind of like part A, part B. So they make home movies,
Uh-huh.
but also they deal with like school life and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like it's kind of like done in like this squiggle vision kind of thing. So
Oh.
like there's like the characters are standing still, but like their lines around them are like always moving, kind of like Ed
Oh.
and Eddie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and
Interesting. I have to look that one up.
yeah, and then there's like a show called Mission Hill.
Mission.
Mission Hill.
That's that sounds familiar, but I can't put my like tongue on it.
It's about like this nerdy kid
Mm-hmm.
goes to live with his older brother in a city, and his older brother's like a cartoonist or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting show. It's funny, and I gotta go back and watch it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I remember this show got me in trouble
Oh, how?
because, like, I remember very clearly. It was like I was about to start like ninth grade the
Mm-hmm.
very next day, and like this show would come on like Sunday nights, and it was called Adult Swim.
Oh, adult swim.
Yeah, it was on Adult Swim, and like
Mm-hmm.
I was not supposed to be watching it. So like when I hear my mom pass by the hallway, I would switch the channel to like Nick at Night, like
Mm-hmm.
wholesome TV.
Yeah.
But when she's not nearby, I'll switch the channel back to like Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom came up and snuck on me and
Mm-hmm.
started watching TV with me. Like, okay, I want to see what you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the older brother, the older brother, the younger brother said like, I'm gonna go in the room and go masturbate. And then like my mom was like, "You can't watch this anymore." I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Child, what are you watching?
yeah. It's like you can't watch this anymore. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
But it was okay. It was all good because like when Boondocks came on TV,
Oh
then
yeah,
she was like,
Boondocks.
okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No, I totally understand. I mean, like, I think I like one of the like Cartoon Network shows. Oh, We Bear Bears. I don't. Is that Cartoon Network? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's Cartoon Network.
Yeah, We Bear Bears. I watched a few episodes. That's really cute. I really like the bears. They're really cute. I like that kind of cutesy, like funny, like light humor
Yeah,
animation.
yeah. I like that also. Like
Mhm.
I like that and Clarence. I like Clarence. People thought it
Oh,
was stupid, but it was
uh-huh.
it's wholesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I Clarence sound familiar. I don't remember seeing it though.
It's about like this kid that's he looks like he seems stupid, like there's something wrong with him, but no, it's just him.
Oh.
And it's like he caused a lot of trouble
Mhm.
and like he's like friends with like this person named Sumo
Mhm.
and like this smarty nerdy guy with like a square head named Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah, and they get in like a lot of trouble. It's kind of like a modern age Charlie Brown in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Let's see. So video games. Any interesting video games you played this year?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Sorry to let you down.
No, it's
I
okay.
didn't play any good video games. Yeah.
It's okay. I got like a pile of it. I did not intend to get this year.
Yeah.
So like I came into this year like I had gotten my Switch last year in November, like few games.
Mhm.
And then one thing led to another, and now I have like a lot of games I have to play on the
Yeah.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I was playing like Phoenix Wright,
Mhm.
which I wasn't really into until like all of a sudden I just like downloaded it on a whim. It was like, oh, this is very good.
Mhm.
And then there's this game. This game I need to really get back into.
Mhm.
It's called a Romancing Saga.
Mm.
So Romancing Saga 2 and 3 is on the Switch. So it's made by the same company that made Final Fantasy,
Oh
but it's
yeah.
yeah, but it's like 2D, like those 2D Final Fantasy games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But this one, it's like so you start off and pretty much it's like choose your own adventure
Mhm.
and deal with the consequences and stuff like that.
Okay.
So like you start off alone, but over time you build like your team and stuff like that. So if you die in the game like a certain amount of time, like say maybe five, like maybe one of your characters show like five life or something like that. Once those five lives are dead in battle or
Mhm.
going to battle, the character's dead forever.
Oh
Y-
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like Fire Emblem and stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's like so open world
Mhm.
that you get to do one thing. You get to choose whatever you want to do
Yeah.
concerning the storyline. So like maybe you could like maybe the king says like okay go to this place, but maybe you decide to go to this place, and then that people will join your team, in which it will change like the story impact and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got so far as to like I think there's like different generations. Like I made it to like the second generation, which is like 10 hours in.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and so like the king said like okay go down to this south place and take back the castle or something like that. My dumb ass was like I could do that. Or I can explain I could explore like the desert area
Mhm.
and I had to deal with like giant ants that just like kind of like one hit kill you. And
Oh my gosh.
I had to keep like restarting like resetting the game like no I'm not dying. I'm not dying. And like once I made the decision I was like I can't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tried playing like a few days ago and it says I was somewhere that I don't remember being in at all.
Oh.
So I had to like restart this game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I would say my favorite game this year has to be Persona 5 Royal.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So like I played Persona 5, the original one, a
Hmm.
few years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." Like, yeah, and this is good. But then like Royal came along and they
Yeah.
fixed like the problems and the stories and stuff like that. And it was like
Hmm.
it really is definitive version of like Persona 5 because like
Hmm.
how it ended. It's like there can't be a sequel after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like how like the original one ended, it's like it ended like open ended,
Hmm.
like hey, we're going on a road trip, like okay, but like how Royal ended, spoilers.
Hmm.
So how Royal ended, everyone that's part of your group goes their separate ways. Some went to college, some went to another school, some went to study overseas. The main character's going back to his hometown.
Hmm.
So it was like, yeah, this is like really the end. And it's just like really well written, well resolved and everything. So it's like, yeah, there can't be a sequel.
I mean, they're definitely gonna make a sequel.
There is a sequel, Persona 5 Strikers.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, they're coming out in like February in English, and then like when that happens, Persona 5 Strikers is like a sequel to Persona 5. I'm like, what the crap? Why?
Yeah.
It was like this was not needed.
I mean, people like the franchise.
Yeah, and which is like it's still something that's kind of weird
Hmm.
because the Persona franchise has always been niche,
Yeah.
but Persona 5 made it like very popular to like mainstream. So
Hmm.
when something niche becomes mainstream, I was like, I don't know how to do with that. It just seems kind of weird a little.
Uh, I can understand how you're feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally
Especially
understandable.
yeah, especially like at the time when it came out, I was overseas, studying abroad overseas. So
Hmm.
I could just listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And so I missed the release date and everything when it first
Hmm.
came out. And so like yeah, so like jumping on like, okay, this is a little bit unusual, but it is a very good game, well written game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have to choose my favorite game of the year, is obviously going to be Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh my god, one update 1.5 just came out, and like I played some of it, but I haven't obviously like super got into it. Cause like I play it like modded, cause I finished vanilla and everything, so like I'm obviously playing it modded because it gives me like a faster pace and like a good feel of like a casual game without having to be like super slow and everything. So like I'm still kind of waiting for like one of the mods to update. If it doesn't update by like maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks, I might just like super get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love Stardew Valley.
Yeah. I'm going to get into it. Like when you told me about the sale on Steam.
Yes.
Yeah. So what about that? That was
Mm-hmm.
like a double-edged sword for me because like I have
Mm-hmm.
Steam, but like I use it occasionally. I was like, oh, okay, this is on sale. Stardew Valley. Okay, I'll get that. And then I saw another game I'm interested in, and then I
Mm-hmm.
saw another game I'm interested in. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna start buying a lot more games that I haven't even finished playing the other ones, and just okay, let's do this. Yeah,
Totally. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it. I mean, you play was it Animal Crossing? So
Oh
like,
yeah, we
you'll totally enjoy it.
definitely. But you're like, last time I checked, I got like 350 hours in Animal Crossing.
That's nothing.
Yeah, well, it was a lot. It's impressive for me because I don't think I spent that well. The second game I put that much hour into was Persona 5 Royal.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
not bad.
Yeah.
I
Like,
wish I had more hours on Stardew Valley, but like I play like once I started playing it like modded, I forgot to like log on to Steam to like incorporate my hours into it, and so like I should have way more hours than like only 250 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I have not really played too many like games this year, like occasionally.
Yeah.
I'll say like this season, right now, currently, I'm playing
Mhm.
like the Pokemon DLC Count Crown of Tundra. I want to say it
Mhm.
is interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like the first DLC that came out like early summer,
Mhm.
it was so disappointing. I was like, "What is this shit?" And then I just thought, and then like a family member said like, "You should really continue playing it." Like, okay.
Mhm.
And so like Crown of Tundra, I just like, okay, I got it. I got the update. I just been putting it off. And then like it's Christmas, why not? And then it was like, oh my gosh, it's like all these legendary Pokemon, like the
Oh yeah.
story is good. And it's like, okay, I definitely gotta like get back into it.
Yeah, feels better.
Yeah. And Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
Oh geez.
Do you get your refund?
I'm not getting a refund.
You're not.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like one thing I hate about it is like the patch updates are like so big.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
like because I totally understand why like the patch updates are like huge. It's because like they fucked up by releasing the game before it was like fixed. Before
yeah,
like they fixed bugs and stuff. So now they have to like patch all of that, and like patching all of that is gonna be huge every patch update.
yeah. And I really hated the fact that I had to delete most of the games that I was playing on my PS4.
Oh yeah.
Like, granted, like the only thing that's left now are like the games that like I'm actually actively playing. And I'm like, look, if there's another big update patch, I may have
Bye
to
bye.
delete. Yeah,
Bye.
because yeah.
Goodbye, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, but like, I didn't get a refund because like
hmm
the bugs is what's making the game entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like I did a video of like all the like the crazy stuff that was just happening because like I accidentally shot and killed an NPC
uh-huh.
because like I was trying to put away my gun and then it was like there's like this moment that this is what he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
And then I shot. It's like, oh my god, I am so sorry. And then like now I'm like forever wanted by the police.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And so like one day, like the next day on the game,
hmm
I went inside. I went outside my apartment because I was supposed to meet up like the protagonist's best friend.
hmm
And then I saw like police like crowded around our door. And like
Yeah.
in this game, you can help the police.
Yeah.
So I guess like the police were trying to help the person, like maybe some kind of like distress call.
Yeah.
So I was standing near the police. I didn't have my weapon on me. I was
hmm
just standing near the police. The
Yeah.
police was like, "Yo, put it away, back up, like put that weapon down." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then they just started opening fire.
On you.
Yeah,
Oh. Oh god. That's awful.
yeah, but it gets worse. So like
It
civilians,
gets worse.
yeah, civilians were like running around and just like they're just like running in slow motion, sliding everywhere, and just like
Panicking.
yeah, and like holding down, like holding their head down, like in fear and stuff like that. Don't shoot, don't shoot. It was like you're not hiding yourself. Like what is going on? And so once they all go into panic, the whole area is or half the area is like that.
hmm
So I went downstairs. There's this man like in panic mode, just standing there, like get away from me. I'm like, what are you talking about? And
Rude.
then yeah, and then like I went to this part, like this shop, and they were just like this NPC like standing in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I don't know what's going on. I was like, I don't know what's going on either.
Yes. Today's such a weird day, you guys.
Yeah, but this is like the most bullshit thing though. So I was driving in the
hmm
game, and I hit like a street light pole,
hmm
and the street light pole fell down. I became wanted just because of that.
Oh my god.
Yes, it was like you have a police warrant now. I was like, what the fuck? How? And then all of a sudden, the police just came out of nowhere and just started like shooting at me.
Oh god.
Yeah, this whole game is a mess. Yeah, the bugs is what's making it fun.
uh,
Otherwise, I think it would be taking itself too seriously for my
yeah.
taste. Yeah,
What, what a what a strange event of a day.
definitely. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
great.
Yeah. So, in retrospect, what are your thoughts on 2020?
My thoughts on 2020. It's it's quite a year.
Yeah,
It's quite a year. It's quite a streaming year. Definitely.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My thoughts are pretty scattered out right now because like there's not really a good like pool of words you can like use to like explain what how 2020 was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like from retrospect, it was a bad year.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it was a bad year. I feel it's like in a way holding me back from what I want to do in life. Like I came into 2020 thinking like, okay, this is the year like I'm gonna get everything established and worked on and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like, nope. Like,
Yeah.
nope, you can't do that. You're stuck at home. You're quarantined. Like, it's like, dude, I want to start my life. Like, really start my life. But yeah, 2020 is like that. But in a way, we grew from 2020. I would
Yeah.
say how I am last year compared to how I am this year is a tremendous growth.
Yeah. For sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what are your feelings going into 2021?
Uh, well, I'm really trying my best to have like a super positive outlook into 2021 with 2020 being like the start of a decade being like such a trash year. And it's like it's something like out of everyone's control and we couldn't like really handle. But like I'm hopeful for 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I'm cautiously optimistic about 2021.
Yes, cautious. Caution is the right word.
Yeah, it's like okay, like 2020 sucks. So like it seems like things are going in a positive direction with like
Mhm.
recent news in the past few months. But I'm like things are improving, but please don't let anything bad happen because I
Yeah.
really want to actually fully start my life away from my hometown.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and so what are you looking forward to in 2021?
I mean, I'm hopeful. Maybe I might be starting school again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
that's
good.
something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. For me, um, I guess I can let this slip. I'm supposed to be moving next
Mhm.
year,
Oh.
and I will know for sure late January, early February, or March. I will know for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And once I hear like the confirmation, I could be moving between April of next year and
Oh, yeah.
September of next year.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which I'm very excited for that happening. Yeah, definitely. It's like I can finally get my life started again. But yeah,
Exciting.
very exciting. Um, I will say if I in the event that I do move, I will try my best to keep this channel up and running, the YouTube channel up and running. But because of like my career and like the location where I'll be moving to, may be a little impossible to do. But I still want to do
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah. Sounds
kind of.
good.
Yeah, kind of like tour like sure like wait the place where I am because I am moving to another country.
Yay.
Yeah,
Excited.
yeah, just show like the like how it's like there, stuff like that, and definitely more like photography I want to
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
Sounds fun.
yes. So that is it for this podcast episode, the end of the year 2020 podcast episode. Yay.
Yes.
So do you have anything to say? Any final words or anything?
I mean, we're all going through a tough time this year, and I'm hopeful and like appreciate everybody and like hope everything is well for each and every one of you guys.
Definitely. And my sentiments the same. Like this been a rough year, but just take like the bad experience that we had this year and kind of like apply it to ourselves to like build us up in a more positive direction, not negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. And let's go into 2021 with optimism. Optimism. I think that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
With optimism and like more like determination. Like we can do this because like suffice to say, and maybe I'm speaking my mind out like a little too openly, but who gives a
Mm-hmm.
crap? The world is starting to change. I feel like when 2020 started, the world that we knew has ended, but it's also like the beginning of a change.
Yes.
And so like there's like a lot of 2020 let us like know that there's a lot of, in light of better word, fucked up crap that's happening. Like not to get into this territory, but politics wise and like living wise, humanity. There's a lot of things that's like we thought was okay for so long, where
Mm.
in actuality it's not okay at all.
I mean, I don't think it was more like we thought was okay. We knew it was not okay, but like we just couldn't find a voice to say that like, hey, we don't like this. We want
Yeah,
change. And this year was that year for a lot of people. And like, now we're not taking everyone's bullshit. We're not gonna accept that. If you don't want to be bullshitted around, why should we just accept your bullshit?
yeah, definitely. And so like I'll say like then you said it better. You said
Mhm.
it better. So like definitely like a year like we're not gonna take this anymore. So like I hope like this momentum carries into 2021, but more like we actively see change. Not that
Yes.
like it becomes like a trend for like a month or so, and then like
No.
yeah, because like when a specific event that happened
Hmm.
in like in summertime.
Yeah, we actively want to see change. And like we can't change unless obviously like we as a person change. We have to change if we want to see the change around us.
Definitely, and I agree with that. And so also with like this, it 2020 taught us like to really value like friendships and families and stuff like that. Like we're only here for a short time, and like we should really appreciate each other a lot more. Like be
Hmm.
mindful of each other's like health and like lifestyles and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
2020 in a way kind of opened like everyone's eyes, and I really hope that like it opened our eyes enough to really make a change and really get the ball rolling and like to see like the earth that we want to live in, because it doesn't have to be this way
Hmm.
of how
For
it is
sure.
like now, right now. Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So that's all I have to say for this podcast. Honestly, you know, with talking with you though, I don't mind like talking like this much, but like usually when I do like these solo podcast episodes,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
feel burnt out after 40 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so like this is like definitely one of the like the better podcast episodes I have done.
Oh yeah, you think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
I'm glad I can make you feel like a little like better about like doing your podcast and like it doesn't feel like a chore to you or something.
Yeah. And that's the thing like I usually worry about with this channel.
Yeah.
Like there are days where I want to do it, but things like days like I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. And that's like
Hmm.
detracts me from like really want to do it even more. So
Yeah.
this is one of the better days of like doing things for the channel. So
Yeah, I'm
thank you for
glad.
having. Yeah, definitely looking if you're up for it. Have you for another future episode?
Yeah, for sure. I'm totally up to like, be another here and like guest speak with you. I enjoyed my time here and like I don't mind if people like me being here and I don't mind being like here constantly either.
Yeah, and if you're watching, this is probably the first episode. Like it seems like it's going to be like an hour or 2 hours or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I really don't really want to edit out to like shorter time. So
Yeah.
consider this a treat.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So with that said, this has been a podcast of An Introvert Speaks. This is Sights for Eyes, and you can look down. This is the part that I get so flustered with. So
Yeah.
I have like my social media. So like I'm on Instagram at Sights for Eyes. That's SIGHTS, the number 4EYES. And I'm also on Twitter at the same tag. All of my social media link descriptions are in the description down below. Follow, like, subscribe, and share the video around. And without further ado, this is the Sights for Eyes and Introvert Speaks, and I can't talk right now. This has been an Introvert Speaks 2020 end of the year podcast. More content coming on the way in 2021. I'll see you then. Until then, good vibes all around. Stay healthy, stay safe. Catch you next time. Bye. Yuna.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.